What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So it's safe to say that grab your popcorn because we have a ton of new information for this game, and it's also safe to say that it has of course been definitely long enough since we now got the new gameplay that was yesterday, which was more or less 20 minutes, and of course the criticism is out there in the entire internet. But what's more important is all of the new details that have been revealed, which is what we're going to cover in this video, and it's just absolutely insane. My hype right now for this game, being completely honest with you, is just at the peak. It literally is right up there, and I've never been more excited for this game. Pretty much because I guess we never really saw anything else before, so now we have all this stuff coming our way. You have a reason to be excited. Now, before I continue into this, I saw this on Reddit. It's by a really good YouTuber, goes by the name JawRaptor as well, where he basically got some little exclusive snippets when he was at Gamescom. But it does say, let's take a minute to appreciate the beauty of Cap's scale suit. Now, this does look absolutely amazing, and I want you guys to rate this suit out of all the other ones, right, on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being horrific and just awful, and 10 being absolutely insane, and of course 5 just being it's okay. I want you guys to get in the comment section below and let me know. Now, all the new details that have come out are really interesting. We got stuff about the single player and, you know, like a verse multiplayer breakdown. We got the customization details, etc. And a lot of people, before I dive into that, have been saying about, you know, the game being open world. Just to reconfirm, okay, there's gonna be essentially one big world and then little mini open worlds essentially. So in terms of the gameplay we've seen around the internet now, you even see gameplay with Iron Man in like a city. If you've ever played Spider-Man PS4, it looks like it's New York, for example. You got your street lamps, cars on fire, people running around, etc. So that does seem, of course, that it's going to be open world. We already know there's going to be random events as well, so I guess it kind of has to have that open, you know, world theme to it in order for these things to actually happen. So right now we haven't actually seen any of that stuff officially. They are going to be revealing a whole lot more in October, so we are not far at all away from that. And in between then, so between, well, I guess throughout September, there's going to be a whole lot more little information in terms of snippets, and then of course at another gaming event is when we're going to see a whole lot more. But to dive into the first sort of category I want to talk about, which is the customization and loot. Now, this was posted by the Marvel Avengers fan account on Twitter. I've always said they are a great account. If you're a big fan of this game, go ahead and check them out. But they done a little breakdown of all the information. So, customization and loot. You got tons of cosmetic costumes that don't actually affect the skill of your character. You got rewarded costumes for completing missions, and again, we was talking about this yesterday in terms of the XP. There's a kind of like a low XP, I think it was like 10 XP by the time you've basically wiped out, you know, all the enemies more or less. So there's a lot of like controversy on that stuff, but again, when it says rewarded costumes for completed missions, I have a feeling that XP is going to play a very big role in there. You got gear drips throughout the game. Now, the harder the difficulty, the, you know, more rare the gear drop basically. So I said drips, I don't know why I said that. Gear drops, okay, is basically how this game is rolling, and I think this is going to be really interesting to see. It's something different. It wants to make you go ahead and play certain missions on a much more difficult level as well, just in order to kind of get these exclusive, I guess, gear drops more or less. So you guys leave your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. Now, it's a very interesting topic. Now, gears can actually be tailored towards the characters and the skill trees as well. Now, once again, we haven't seen any of this specifically in depth, but have yourself, well, to paint yourself a picture, should I say, really. Again, if you played Spider-Man PS4, the skill tree, etc., I'm assuming it's going to work somewhat similar to that. It could be completely different, but going on the way the game's looking so far, and the customization, etc., that is probably the only thing I can compare it to right now, just to give yourselves, you know, a better perspective, and like I said, overall, just paint a picture on how the game's kind of rolling in that sense. Now, moving on, a single player versus multiplayer breakdown. So, you have hero missions, you got your main campaign / story heavy, you can play to certain Avengers strengths, and I'm going to go a bit more in depth in that in a second. You got Warzone missions, and it can be played solo or with up to 4 players in co-op. There's dynamic scaling as well, and seamless transitioning between both modes and different difficulties. So again, they've already said they want this game to be a game that you're playing for years and years, and they're going to be pumping more content into it. So I guess seamless transitioning and all that stuff, single player versus multiplayer. It's safe to say certain things are going to have, more exclusive sides to the game, which have a very, very strong feeling that it will be the multiplayer sector, depending how popular it is, how big it gets. Again, all of these things do vary. Now, in a Q&A and in an article as well, which I'll link in the description below, they did say the following, and I quote, "So, each enemy has a number by their health bar, indicating their level and confirming the game as an action role player. Now, attacking anyone sees a familiar explosion of numbers, illustrating the amount of damage that you're doing to them, which is not something we expected from the game." So again, the quote I'm reading right now is from an article that done like a little miniature exclusive Q&A, and essentially had a hands-on as well. Now, according to the devs, some enemies will be all but unbeatable. Now, if you're not at a certain level yourself, with the implication being that you'll have to either level up or play in co-op with others that are more powerful. So, again, I have a very strong feeling XP in this game is going to play a very, very big role. You have to upgrade your characters, but at the same time, if you do want to go ahead and play with some buddies, or you're stuck on a certain mission in the game, at least you know that if you don't have, if they're going by sort of gears in terms of your upgrades, at least you now know that, okay, you can get a buddy to hop in with you that's genuinely more powerful, but the same character, or another character for, this case, and they will basically have the ability to wipe these enemies out, etc. But again, that's a very interesting thing to see, because you've got your standard difficulty, but then you've got leveling up, and that's something I'm really excited, to see how it's gonna play. To be completely honest, I know with most games I'm like, well, it's either you got your easy mode, your amateur mode, and then you got your like super legendary mode where everything is just 100 times harder than it would be, and that is fun. But I think having this forcefully kind of in there where you have to upgrade your characters, it's gonna make you forcefully, I guess, do these random events in the game that just pop up, because all of these are gonna reward you in a certain way, and it might well just be a situation that these random events will give you a lot of XP as well, depending, of course, what character you are, your skills, etc, etc. So right now, it's safe to say that the game is looking good. From all the gameplay and everything that's being revealed, all the little snippets of information, everything does look very, very interesting without a single doubt. What I definitely want to see now, which is again going to be in October, which they've already revealed, is some more gameplay, but like in terms of a gameplay trailer, I think that would be good. Now, the official Marvel's Avengers Twitter account also did post, in the 5 years since the events of A-Day, a new evil threat has emerged, advanced idea mechanics, aka AIM. Now, they believe that science, not superheroes, will save the world, reassemble Earth's mightiest heroes to take on AIM in Marvel's Avengers, and then we got this screenshot as well. So I'm very, very excited to see how this game as a whole is just going to roll out, because it seems there's some unique things in place already, and it's just going to be interesting to see what they're going to add, more or less, as the months go on now until the release, and they really want to know everyone's thoughts as well. And we know things like that is just so important when it comes down to making a game. But to sum this video up, and I will, kind of leave all the links in the description below on things that I mentioned, customization and loot is very effective. Single player versus multiplayer, there's going to be a big difference. That's more or less what this video did consist of, and I'm super hyped up for this. Honestly, guys, super hyped up for just seeing everything. But I want you guys to get in the comment section below and leave your thoughts, because I know some people are a bit skeptical right now, especially with the open world sector of the game and whether or not it's going to be there. I would say don't worry about it. I think we got way much time, to see what is gonna be going down in terms of that. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video here. As always, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and if you didn't subscribe, go ahead and subscribe for more awesome content. But I will see you in the next one. Until then, adios amigos.